Wizards of the Coast has sent strong signals that there is going to be a standard ban coming next week. And the crazy thing is this is inspired most likely by Zendikar Rising. But Zendikar Rising hasn't even released in its paper form yet. It's not even officially out yet. And we're already looking at this scenario. Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. I had originally told you guys yesterday that today we were going to be opening some pre-release kits, a video I had pre-recorded because I have dentistry that needs to get taken care of today. But with this news popping up, it becomes more interesting to me at least, and you know, obviously the immediacy of it as well. It's like we can take the pre-release kit video, push that over to tomorrow, and we can talk about what's going on with the upcoming standard bans, all right? So I've got a list of candidates, some cards that may be the ones to get axed in the banning. But first, let's talk about the announcement that Wizards of the Coast made today so we're all on the same page. So it says, we're closely monitoring developments in Standard. In order to avoid disrupting this weekend's tournaments, we intend to provide an update on the format early next week. So something is changing that would upset tournaments. Obviously, bannings falls right into that category. So in terms of the cards that could end up seeing the ban hammer, there are the ban hamburglar. All right, so there are a number of cards from Zendikar and from outside of Zendikar that may see the ban hammer. We'll talk about them starting with the cards specifically from Zendikar. The first one on the list is Ruin Crab. Now, funnily enough, when I saw this, I thought it wasn't a reprint. My brain just went, oh, there's the Hedron Crab, right? 1 mana to put out, 0/3, mills somebody for 3 cards when a land goes out. And it's like, wait a minute, actually, this says each opponent. So it's like, it's a souped up little mill crab, but apparently this little crab is making some big waves right now. So it is a potential candidate to actually catch the ban hammer. I don't know exactly how likely it is. I feel like there are bigger candidates, bigger problems. The Ruin Crab, you know what? People don't enjoy getting milled out too quickly, but I don't know how likely that one catching the ban hammer is. The next card, however, from Zendikar Rising feels like it has a much higher incidence because this is the most problematic card from Zendikar, and that is Scoot Swarm. Surprise, surprise. I'm sure most of you are already aware of how much trouble this card is causing. Basically, one of the issues, actually a side issue, is Arena just can't handle the card. It's literally crashing people's games. Like, Arena already has stability issues to begin with, but these cards are just propagating themselves on such an insane degree where basically every time you put out a land, you're getting another copy of this guy. And if you meet the threshold conditions, now instead you're getting copies of this guy, which makes more copies of it, and it just goes out of control really quickly, because getting to the necessary lands to make copies of the swarm instead of just making a 1/1 token is a big difference. You know what I mean? Like it's easy to hit the lands needed, and the difference between the two is vast. The fact that each one will make more copies of itself is causing problems. Also, there's the fact that when you mutate cards onto the swarm, then it gains their properties as well, and each copy does as well. So you end up with just insane scenarios. This card is absolutely blowing people out of the water, right? The landfall on this thing is absolutely crazy. And it combines quite well with another crazy green landfall creature that is up here to talk about, and that's the Lotus Cobra, all right? Lotus Cobra is a really efficient creature, let's be real. You're paying 1 green and 1 for a 2/1 that says whenever you drop a land, get a mana of any color. Like, any color. That's crazily unrestrictive. So this offers a fair bit of acceleration. Honestly, the way it feels in Standard right now is if your opponent puts out a second turn Lotus Cobra, they are going to have an insane third turn, and you're probably just going to lose. Like, Lotus Cobra definitely feels that way. Now, in terms of its bannability, I mean, it is really strong acceleration, but is it too past? Is the acceleration it's offering the problem, or is just the strength of what you can do with that acceleration the problem? And I'll be truthful, I don't know the answer to that question. So I don't know if Lotus Cobra is really that high a ranking for the banhammer hitting it. The Swarm feels like it's more likely to get hit with the banhammer than the Cobra by a long shot to me. But the Cobra definitely is strong enough that it makes the list. And honestly, green-blue specifically has been absolutely out of control. Like, there's just so much strength to that combo, and Lotus Cobra slides in real nice, right? And then moving on, we've got the last card from Zendikar that I want to talk about as potential cards getting banned is the new Omnath, the 4-color Omnath that replaces itself. First of all, you get to draw a card when you cast it, right? Boom. All right, I got a card. I've replaced it. Then you have 3 separate triggers that you get for landfall. Sure, it doesn't do anything past the 3rd trigger or whatever, but by that point, you've blasted your opponent. You get like crazy amounts of mana. You get 4 different mana just for laying your 2nd land. Omnath is really strong. Like, Omnath feels like Wizards just went, okay, make something that's gonna have Commander players go like, oh my god, this is the most amazing thing in the world. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. It feels like really pushed for Commander and too strong. What you pay mana-wise for what you get, it feels too strong. So Omnath makes the list of likely ban candidates from Zendikar. Now we have to put the big asterisk up in the air about this sort of scenario, the additional disclaimer that unfortunately undermines the chances of any of these really getting banned, and that's the fact that Wizards of the Coast absolutely hates to ban cards from the newest set, whatever they are, right? So whatever set is the current, like, we need to be selling this set, that is the set that's least likely to get banned. Something has to be insane, like absolutely crazily ruining the meta and the environment for them to come and bring the hammer down. They try and dance around that as much as possible. When it's in a new product, the chances of banning are much lower. So we have to kind of look elsewhere and see what other candidates are likely to be gotten rid of at this point. And I honestly think a really good candidate for banning at this point is Uro. Uro's gonna go. That's what it feels like to me. Now, Uro's incredibly powerful, right? I mean, all like, oh no, you pay 4 mana and like, oh, he gets sacrificed right away. And it's like, yeah, but you still get the spell-like effect right away. And just the recurring amount of, oh, look, I get to draw and gain life and get like land drops and everything all together. Like this, it was already insane and out of control. He already felt way too nutty. But once you bring all this landfall madness in, he becomes way too strong. And the thing is he's originally from, Theros. He's from the Theros set, which is X number of sets back now. So even though he is a big, valuable mythic, it's reached the point where the sales of boxes of Theros have slowed down. So it's safer from their perspective to go ahead and just bring the ban hammer down and just go, you know what, let's get Uro out of the format. Forget it. It's time we've made our sales. Like we've seen there's a pattern of behavior like this. And in all honesty, I don't believe that it's good for the long-term health of the game. Getting into a routine, because that's what it feels like now, getting into a routine where cards are overpowered, they get to exist being a problem because they're a big overpowered card from a set that is out right now, and then at a certain point now is like, okay, you know what, turns out it is a problem, we had no idea. And it's like, but you test all this stuff in advance long before you even let us have it. You have to have tested this stuff like 6 months to a year ago from your own design cycles. So that doesn't really fly. You know what I mean? It's more like, you just know when you're doing it to us. More, oh, we had no idea what's happening. It's like, come on, let's be real. Let's be real. I mean, it's never gonna happen. They're not gonna be real with us. But either way, Uro, he's gonna go. That's like that to me feels like a very high likelihood target to nail. And I'm also wondering if Ugin might be on that. I mean, Ugin is from 2021. 2021 is the set right before this. He is a big ticket mythic, so I don't know if they're really going to be willing to ban him. And I mean, he is coming out on like the third or fourth turn with such regularity that it does just like completely obliterate the game, right? So there's definitely an argument to be made for Ugin getting banned, but I don't know how likely it is because of how recent he is. So I mean, I can see Euro getting banned. I can see them banning that's the most likely one to me. Thinking about it out of everything, Euro seems like the most likely to go. But there is something else I want to bring up, is that this announcement, the way that it's worded, doesn't automatically mean we're dealing with a ban, okay? Because to go back to it, it says we're closely monitoring developments in Standard. In order to avoid disrupting this weekend's tournaments, we intend to provide an update on the format early next week. So I don't know if that update is just, we're looking at these cards, if that update is, we're changing the rules. Remember, that's more open as a concept now. Look at what they did in Ikoria. We got companion cards. Companion cards were fundamentally broken, and so they changed the rules on them, they depowered them, and now companions are, I guess, what they originally had wanted, just kind of a side thing that not everybody feels obligated to use, add some flavor to the game. So companions were essentially fixed with an after printing, just straight up changing of how a mechanic works. So we may be looking at them just making a change to how the Scoot Swarm works. They may just change that. They may have some other ruling that I'm not thinking of where they're just like, you know what, we're changing how this rule works. And so, boom, there you go. Or I doubt it'll be like a full-on functional change, but you never know, right? So I just wanted to put that out there as a possibility. I strongly feel like we're looking at some kind of bans, but since there is the potential for something else, just wanted to make sure all the information was available. So, my friends, let me know what you think. Give me some comments to read as I sit in my chair and grumble over my hurting mouth from dentistry or whatever. I'm fine right now, but I won't be by the time I'm reading your sweet, delicious, buttery comments. Make your comments all delicious like toast. Whatever that means. I don't know. Anyways, I'm done. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below about all the bannings, what you think might get banned, and obviously the choices that I made as well. What do you think about them? All right? If you like what I'm doing here, like, comment, subscribe. That's all great for the channel. If you love what I'm doing, jump on my Patreon. Other than that, I gotta go. I will see all of you tomorrow.